Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UltimateE presents the Battle of the Stars in association with Red Bull. Hashtag gives you wings. We're here for round 1 in Barcelona of the iRacing series, where some absolute superstars in Tier 1 and Tier 2 will be battling it out against each other across the Ferraris, Mercedes, Audis, and BMWs. These GT3 cars, supreme to watch. And we're at the Circuit de Catalunya de Barcelona. Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia, an iconic circuit, a 4.6 kilometer circuit based in Spain, in Montemelo. It's a supreme track where every single team comes here to test, because this track is critical for aero setup, for drag, to figure out top speed, and it's brilliant to watch some of these guys come out and watch again. We're here. I'm going to be joined with Aditya Patel, the co-founder of UltimateE and the X1 Racing League. Aditya, welcome on board. Great to have you here. It's been a while.
Thanks, Sanjay. Yeah, it has been a while indeed. But we've been doing races, as you've seen, and the last couple of weeks we've been so busy with the Battle of the Stars, and it's great to see such great response from all these drivers. Be it in Formula One, be it in iRacing. We've seen some great racing, some great response, some passionate gamers as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to today's race.
Yeah, because like Aditya said, great racing and passionate gamers, and that's exactly what we saw today in F1, Aditya, where Zenith, who was an underdog, came out from absolutely nowhere. We've not heard of him, we haven't seen him race in our leagues in the past, but came out of absolutely nowhere and blitzed the pack. So great to see guys like that coming through. And of course, we are now, we are just finishing qualifying We are just finishing qualifying. We're going to be having a 25-minute race, pit stops, tires, and fuel all come into play with strategy. It's going to be two tires of racing, so Tier 1 and Tier 2. With Tier 1, I'm just going to take you quickly through the names that we have. And with qualifying just finished, we've got Mohammad Ibrahim on pole, with Amith in second place, Ron Shankar in third, sanjay in fourth, Advait in fifth place, Ritesh in sixth place, Tejasvi in seventh, Keshav and KDB, who's Tier 2 in fact, has now put himself up in seventh place, which is great to see. Yashish Manohar in ninth place. Yashish Manohar in 9th place, Varun in 10th, Ankit Roy in 11th, Oshan Kotadia in 12th, and Chetan korada in 13th place. So a whole host of characters we've got here, and we've got a superb race coming up. We've got some supreme racing coming up now, Aditya, because these guys, like we saw in the past, Mohammad Ibrahim, Amith, Sai Sanjay, the usual cast of characters who've been so quick in and out every single weekend. It only makes for exciting racing.
Yeah, and you see the lap time that Mohammad Ibrahim put there, he's over a second quicker than Amith, and the rest of them are followed closely by each other. But again, Mohammad, he's flying through this series. He won both races last weekend. He's straight away on pole this weekend, always putting on a great show. The guys who missed out on qualifying, we see there now show up on the screen. Sohil, Shah, prithvi, Vishwas, Vijayaraj. They've got some work to do. We've seen that Sohil and prithvi are really, really quick. They've got some catching up to do to get to the guys in front. But nonetheless, watching Mohammad Ibrahim sitting at home in Malaysia, taking the battle to the boys sitting at home in India.
Absolutely, because like you said, Aditya, it's going to be brilliant to watch these guys go, because the guys in Malaysia, if they're taking the battle to the guys in India, we know how quick Amith is. You guys have signed him based on how quick he is, starting in second place, but 1 second behind Mohammad Ibrahim. That's a lot to do. That's a lot of work for him to do over the next 25 minutes of racing, because if Mohammad Ibrahim does get a good start off the line, and on this rolling start, there's going to be nothing in it. With Sanjay and Ron Shankar, these two guys as well, supremely quick. Behind them, Ritesh, Advait on 5th and 6th, with Tejasvi, Krishanu Boyan. Great to see Krishanu Boyan up there in 8th place. Tejasvi, we've seen him race a whole bunch of times, but he's always had the pace in mid-pack and comes to life in the middle of the races, so watch out for him when he does. Ankit Roy in 12th place, Chetan korada in 11th place. So we've got a whole host of characters, a lot of known names out there. But these guys now, it's Sohil Shah down in 14th place. He was just in the comp box with me. Has got a lot of work to do.
Unfortunately, he missed the session, because he was sitting in the comm box with you. But I guess we've got ourselves to blame for putting him in the comm box. But nonetheless, he gave us some great entertainment by being with you in the commentary box during Formula One. Now he's got work to do, starting in 14th place. Sai had some trouble actually with his internet, which is why he's in 15th. And Vishwas actually had to reload the game. That's why he's in 16th. But there you see, look at those beautiful looking cars lining up. They've got
and you've let them go crazy. You've let them go crazy with their livery again, haven't you?
We always do. That's what makes it
Yeah,
special. You've got to. It's not just the driving. You need to make them actually do some other stuff. Otherwise, what's the fun?
absolutely, because this first race is going to be a 25-minute race, a rolling start as we have it. We're going to start, like Aditya said, we're starting quite a long way back, so the car's going to take them almost half a lap across with Mohammad Ibrahim leading them away, Amith Kuti in second place, Rohan Shankar and Rohan Shankar as well in third place. So a lot of racing left ahead of us. But at this point in time, with the safety car leading them away and Mohammad Ibrahim putting that 1 second quicker than Amith Kuti. Aditya, I haven't asked you this question in a couple of weeks, but who's your money on in this Group A?
No, it would have to be Mohammad Ibrahim. I can't imagine, any of these guys really taking the challenge to him right now with the kind of pace he's got. He's really pulled everything out of that Audi. But again, Mohammad Ibrahim, he's one of those kids. We've seen him in so many different championships, be it in Formula 3 car, be it in a GT3 car. In this game, he's always up there, be it even against the best gamers in the world, he's up there. So I can safely say you are watching one of the best gamers in the world, and he's right here in front of your eyes.
And there we go. We've got Amith Kuti now. He's trying to chase him as he can down that long start-finish straight in Barcelona. Almost a circuit kilometer long. And the lights go green with Mohammad Ibrahim leading them away for the first 21st race of 25 minutes and already streaking away with Amith Kuti in second place. Rohan Shankar now getting hustled by sanjay between third and fourth. But all of them looks like they've made it clean around the first corner. No one's had an incident. No one's really gone off. That being said, Mohammad Ibrahim, what a clean start away, supremely clean start away, judged to perfection. Amith Kuti trying to hang on, but there we go. We can see sanjay now trying to make that move on Rohan Shankar on the inside. Does he get that move done? Whoa, that is so tight. Rohan Shankar, he's driven him all the way towards the outside. He's going to have the inside line. But sanjay now up in the third place. I think Rohan Shankar now has got a little bit wide, and he's going to lose out a huge number of places in that gravel trap. You can see him now dropping all the way down the order now to 12th place, 13th place. He's lost.
So
that was so unfortunate. But we know he's got the pace on this track, and he's got the pace on this track, so he can come back. And you see a replay of the start. Oh, I think he just gotten back off it, but he can definitely make some time up from there for sure, because Rohan Shankar is much quicker than the guys there. He's already made up a place, gone past prithvi. Prithvi had a problem, but up ahead in front, Mohammad Ibrahim now 1.1 seconds out there ahead of the pack. Amith Kuti now trying to hang on to him, but behind him, a bit of a train forming between sanjay, Advait, and Yashish Manohar.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Rohan, and talking about Rohan once again, he was fighting for the top 3 in the championship, but now it looks like he's going to lose out quite a few points to the guys who were close behind him. So there's a lot of work for him to do. Watching that replay again, he's just outbraked himself and gone straight off. That's given Sai the chance to get that position nice and easy. It's great to see Rohan fighting with guys like Sai, who's really been super quick in the past in this game. But there we go. We're watching Rohan once again try and claw his way back up through the field. Earlier on, we were watching Amith Kuti, and we're watching these guys again. Amith was trying everything he can, using all the width of the track. We saw cones flying as well. But, it's not easy to really challenge Mohammad Ibrahim when he's so good in the game.
I mean, you called it there when I asked you who your money was on. Make no mistake, you didn't even flinch that time around. Normally we'd have it, we probably toss it up between Amith Kuti. Yeah, sanjay, Advait, someone else in there. But this time out, it was the first time I ever heard you go so confident, going, no way, this guy's going to win. And as we're seeing that happen, 2 minutes into this race, 2.5 laps in, he's already now 2 seconds ahead of Amith Kuti. So supreme talent, and Rohan Shankar there making his way to the pack, putting that move around Varun Shah. Rohan Shankar now already up in the 11th place, so he was dropped way down the pack. Amith Kuti pushing him all the way to the outside. Unfortunately, couldn't hang on to it under the gravel trap. Now all the way down in the 14th place. But Advait now, we're on board with him, so let's see what he can do in that Ferrari in 4th place, because he has come to life the last couple of months out there. Because we always see him cones flying everywhere.
I feel that's Amit doing that again.
Yeah, I was just using every single bit of the track given to him, but he is not being. Oh, there we go. Some more cones flying. I love watching cones fly. But Rohan Shankar now making his way up in 11th place. So brilliant watching Rohan Shankar trying to make his way to the back. But that being said, Mohammad Ibrahim, there goes into 141.5, and so that's a no-brainer. He's a second quicker than the rest. Yeah, second quicker than the rest of the pack. But Rohan Shankar now, he has Sohil Shah in his sights, both the Audis down the start finish straight. Rohan Shankar has going to have the inside line as they come around in turn number 1. Sohil Shah's not giving him any quarter. He's pushing him down the inside. He's giving him no room at all. And whoa, he's going to hang around the outside, Sohil. He's trying. He's got that corner. He's got that corner.
No way
and he tried. No way. I think he's going to lose another place as well to Varun Shah behind him. Because Varun Shah looks like he's going to lose another place as well. Now Rohan Shankar up in the 9th place as well. Whoa. Oh, there's a replay of that move. Supreme move, Aditya.
Oh, brilliant move. And these guys are fighting really hard. We're seeing someone spin at the back there. And I think we also saw Chetan korada have a spin all by himself. Right now, watching Oshan Kotadia, Ron seems to have made a move on him as well. So Ron's really moving his way up the field super quick.
Well, Rohan is definitely making his way up super quick. But at that same point in time, Atya, when we're watching these guys with Rohan Shankar, oh, is that a replay? Yeah, that is a replay. Watching Rohan Shankar and Sohil Shah bounce over those banana curves. Not going to make that move. Sorry, son. That's not going to stick. But Rohan Shankar already up in the 8th place. Now he's got a little bit of work to do from here because he's 6 seconds now off KDB Krishana Datubuyan in the Mercies ahead of him. But he's going to make light work of him at this point in time because you can see how kind of pace he's got. But Ritesh Roy, we're on board with him right now in the Audi. Half a second now behind Yashish Manohar. 5th and 6th place now battling with each other. Ritesh Roy has been around with us for a long time, and Yashish Manohar as well. Great to see these two guys having a little battle of their own because we see them in the mid-pack for a very, very long time most of the time, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And, they are still in the mid-pack. But what's really surprising to me is Sohil Shah is not really.
Oh, has Rohan Shankar made a mistake? He's losing a huge amount of ground. Yeah,
yes,
he has. Rohan Shankar. I saw him dropping off the order. Rohan Shankar all by himself, trying to get a little too eager on that throttle as he came around the last corner. But oh man, now he's got to do it all over again. That's going to lose him huge amounts of time.
For that.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely he's made 2 mistakes this race. You know, it's interesting. He's made 2 mistakes this race. You know, Rohan never usually makes mistakes. He's usually, even in the endurance races that we've taken part in, and Rohan being part of the team, he's the guy you can rely on to take the car through the stint without making a single mistake. And now, in the span of 3 laps, he's thrown it away 2 times. It's so unusual to see Rohan do something like that.
I think that's saying something towards Rohan because I don't think he likes 25 minutes. He prefers the 25 hours, but I don't think he's got focus now for sprint. Yeah,
but he's still got a pit stop to do. Don't forget, all these guys have to do a pit stop in this race, and that kind of does mean that there is a strategy angle to it. Some of them are probably waiting for the pit stop for an undercut or an overcut, because based on when you stop, your pit stop time will vary. Just because you don't have to fill as much fuel if you stop a little later. If you stop early on, you may have to fill a little extra fuel to get yourself to the finish line.
Oh, it's not Chetan korada. Yeah, Ritesh right. Chetan korada. That's Chetan korada and Tejasvi having a little hustle on their own, and Vishwas as well. Vishwas and Tejasvi rather. There we go. Between these two, between the Audi and the Ferrari. Oh, he's a little too. That's a lunge and a half.
I think that's Ankit Roy there we're watching.
That was Ankit Roy. That was Ankit Roy. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
He's got that unmistakable livery, the purple car. You can't miss him. But Koga is running last right now, and Ankit Roy has been practicing really, really hard over the last few weeks to catch up with the guys, and he's shown some great improvement. In fact, he was paired with Rohan, if you remember, in the last championship where we had the driver pairing format, and he learned a lot. He was really happy with his improvement in that series. It's just unfortunate that he's not able to pull it together in this particular race. But again, Barcelona, it's not an easy circuit. A lot of these guys are new to this circuit this weekend. They've had to buy the circuit for this particular race. But tomorrow when we head to Daytona, I think we're going to see some very, very close racing because it's one of the circuits that comes free with the game. And it's a circuit that all these guys know very, very well.
And it's a power circuit that it'll get on our track. While it's small, it's quite monstrous because it's very, very narrow, that damn track. So absolutely no mistakes you can make pretty much on it. But that being said,
we're coming to Sohil Shah right now.
We're on board with Sohil Shah.
He's been through a battle and a half, and Prithvi is hunting him down right now.
That's exactly what we're watching because Sohil Shah's probably lost a huge amounts of aero as well with that bonnet being so crumpled, and he's having a couple of battles down there on his own. But Prithvi now It looks like he's about 3/10 off his tail right now. Sohil Shah's trying to get him. He's also trying to make life really, really hard for Sai Prithvi, because Sai Prithvi at this point in time looks like he's got that tiny bit more pace on him, but up ahead right now, Adya. So 6 seconds in 6 laps. Mohammad Ibrahim is still putting 1 second every single lap on Amit Kuti.
He is absolutely flying. He's not holding back at all, and that's the thing about Mohammad. No matter what, he doesn't hold back, because he's pulling off 1 second a lap because he knows that something can happen at any time, and he needs to take advantage of where he is. And if he even eases off for a few seconds, he could lose out later on. So he's always calculating. He's very calculative that way. Meanwhile, watching Krishanu and Ritesh ride, going at it properly, hammer and tongs.
And I was just watching the lines that Krishanu was taking through that, and Krishanu looks like he's going to move around the outside. It is going to get that move around the outside done. Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Krishanu he's a tier 2 driver.
He is a tier 2 driver.
And he's fighting with Ritesh, who is super quick at a tier 1 driver. He's actually up in the top 6.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the guys behind him, guys like Ron, Shankar, Ritesh, Tejasvi, Oshan Kothada, Oshan Kothada, all these guys, tier 1 boys, and Krishanu, KDB as he likes to be called, is now up in the 6th place. Supreme showing by him in the Mercedes, and a beautiful car, that black Mercedes, looking superb with the Barcelona, red Barcelona background. But up ahead in front now, we're still riding on board with Mohammad Ibrahim, who's now 6.5 seconds ahead of Amit Kuti in first place. He hasn't put a foot wrong at all during this race. You can see Amit there in the background coming around the last corner as Krishanu is going to make his way around the first corner. That's the kind of gap he's got. That's the kind of command he's had over this race from the beginning. And Adya, just take us to this lap with him. Just watching those lines that he takes, absolutely supreme.
Yeah, Mohammad, the thing about him is he is flat out. He watch him right now. He's using every inch of the circuit. You see how he uses his 2 left wheels are completely outside, but he's still within track limits. So smooth watching him on board right now, coming into the left hand hairpin. Watch as he brakes. He's used so much width on the track over there. Very, very smooth. Hit the apex flat on the gas as early as you can see. How much track he uses on the exit. That really helps him maximize and optimize the amount of circuit available to him. Just the right amount of curve there on the apex, and he makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
He makes us look like it's like a hot knife going through butter and shot while he drives his car. It's just so smooth. His steering inputs, absolutely brilliant to watch. There's no understeer, no oversteer, no unnecessary lockups, no unnecessary inputs in his steering wheel. Just watch that. It's just one input in and one input for the corner out there. It's brilliant to watch him drive.
Yeah, and you watch something interesting that he does is when he's on the brakes, he's actually starting to slowly creep towards the corner in front of him. So if you watch now when he gets on the brakes, you see how he starts to turn in already. And he's just making full use of the aero available to him in that Audi, which I think a lot of guys, they'd have a lot to learn from watching these onboard videos with Mohammad Ibrahim, because he's actually not doing anything too complicated. He's just making it simple and clean.
And absolutely, and he's using pretty much every little bit of the track to gain those extra tenths over guys like Amith Kuti and Sai Sanjay behind. Amith Kuti now, I think, definitely has been shown. Mohammed's definitely shown Amith Kuti his hand, and Amith Kuti's got a lot to do to catch up, because 8 laps in now. Almost 7.5 seconds, still putting a second through every single lap. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget we have pit stops that will come up very, very shortly, and that's going to take. Is that Oshan Kothada? He did hold on to it, but he's dived straight into that pit lane. Has he? Yeah, he has. Dived straight into that pit lane. Has Oshan Kothada? Oshan Kothada, sorry.
That's a great. And I think that was Chetan and Oshan. Was that Chetan, Korada and Oshan Kothada there coming together? It may have been Chetan, but I don't know where Chetan finally ended up, because
I think Chetan, I just saw him blip off the screen, but I think he's gone right up there. He's in the pit at the moment. Ron Shankar as well has made a pit stop and in the pit exit at this point in time. So there we go, Ron Shankar down in 15th place. So he's made a rather early pit stop out there. And half the race now. Pretty much exactly at the halfway point is where he's got in pit and got himself a new set of tires. So he's going to be doing a little bit of conservation towards the end. But we're still on board now with Sohil Shah and Sai, who's now battling with Sai Prithvi for 13th spot. Sohil, there was up in the 9th for a while, but Yeah, they
Sohil
have
and
pitted.
Sai,
Yeah,
they pitted. Yeah,
they've all
and I
pitted.
think I
Yeah.
know their strategy is. I think they were finding themselves caught up in traffic while trying to make their way up. And the two of them have kind of, if you watch them, they're just going with each other through the race, and they've decided to pit early, get some clear track, and put those laps in, and that's what they're doing. So as you see the guys in front of them starting to pit, you'll see Sohil and Sai just start to make those places up really, really quickly. And I wouldn't be surprised if you find them maybe seventh or sixth after the round of pit stops.
Absolutely, because these guys have the pace as well out there. I mean, the Soul and Sharon Shankar behind, much quicker than the guys in front. We know that for a fact. But up ahead now with Sai Sanjay in third, Advait we're riding on board with him in fourth place now, 3 seconds behind Sai Sanjay, but a comfortable gap of 7 seconds now with KDB behind it. But KDB now up in a fifth place. So in the Mercedes, it's been a supreme showing from KDB now to be in the top five now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a phenomenal driver in any game that he's played. It's early days for him in iRacing. We've seen him play other games in the past. Assetto Corsa, he was really, really quick. But of course, being early days here, he wasn't really able to get himself in that tier one group. And you know what's interesting is we've introduced a new UltimateE ranking system, which means these guys are fighting for a rank. You can say it's something like finding yourself ranked number one after say 2 months of racing, just like you would do and participate in different ATP tournaments, like Rafael Nadal or Roger Federer, right? You participate in different tournaments and then you get your rank up there.
Yep.
So that's what we've kind of added into the system. And Krishanu has kind of jumped at the opportunity. He knows he can play this game. He can play Formula One. He can play Assetto Corsa, and that's really, really going to help him get his ranking up. And he's going to be competing against the likes of Amit Kuti when it comes to the UltimateE ranking system, because there are only a handful of guys who play so many games. Most of them just stick to one particular game.
Absolutely, because like you said, like these guys, they do have a varied spectrum. They specialize in a lot of things, in very very different fields of motorsport. And correct me if I'm wrong out there, because none of these games are alike. You can't have the same driving style for Assetto Corsa and for iRacing.
Yeah, they are quite different. And just as we speak, we're seeing a bunch of guys now diving into the pit. And I think it's a good time to jump into a little commercial break.
Yep, here's a word from our sponsors, Red Bull, #gives you wings. Alright, so there we go. So Red Bull, as we have it, has definitely given a bunch of these guys wings. Mohammad Ibrahim, for one, for sure, has a set of these wings on his shoulders as he's flying through this track at the moment. He's made that pit stop, and he's only got Sai Sanjay and Amit Kuti. Probably now, it takes about 22 seconds, 23 seconds and odd a pit stop on this track. So he's definitely going to come out ahead of Amit Kuti and Sai Sanjay. But that being said, we've been KDB now being hustled after his pit stop by a couple of other guys behind him, so he's held on to that fifth place for as long as he could, now dropping 2 places now to guys in front. So I wonder now, the guys in front haven't pitted yet. So, they have pitted, sorry, that's Yashish Manohar and Tejasvi. Tejasvi hasn't pitted yet, but Yashish has. So
I think that Yashish making contact with Tejasvi
it was Yashish making contact.
That was a
with
bit
Tejasvi.
rough, wasn't it?
It was. The stewards are definitely going to take a look at that one for sure when we come around the block again. That's given KDB another place up, so he's up in the 6th place at the moment, fighting hard to get that 5th place back from Yashish. And you can see the very different lines these two guys are taking through these corners. KDB going a lot deeper to get that drive out as well. And here we go. There's a replay that we're watching between Yashish Manohar and Yashish Manohar and Tejasvi Shetty. A little bit of a contact.
A little bit beyond the replay.
Yeah, I think we're a little bit beyond that.
We're watching KDB now catching Yashish, and Yashish we know is very quick in this game, but KDB has picked his game up a hell of a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the top 5 by the time we get to the finish line.
Absolutely, because is that Amit Kuti going in? Yeah, that's Amit Kuti. That is Amit Kuti. And he's not in contact on the pit. That is disastrous. Amit Kuti is now he's missed the marker completely. He's gone past the ball out, gone into the pit lane, and then he's come into contact with I'm not sure who, but it was an unfortunate incident.
And I think he's basically done a Lewis Hamilton. He's decided so late that he needs to pit. I think he's completely.
There we go. I think because there's a replay that he's pitted. Sai Sanjay behind him, and Sai Sanjay just got straight. That was completely Amith Kuti's fault. It was a completely uncalled for Sai Sanjay. Unfortunate for him, but the stewards now are definitely going to take a look at it. Amith Kuti, I haven't seen this much frustration from him. He does not make mistakes like this. I wonder if the pressure of Mohammad Ibrahim in front has gotten to him, because Advait with a pit stop as well is up in second place now.
Yeah, and that's actually put the grace in Advait Deoda's favor, at least when it comes to being on the podium, because Advait was trailing behind in fourth place, and it was tough for him to catch up with Amith and Sai Sanjay. But these two guys have just it's no fault of Sai Sanjay whatsoever. Amith's decided to dive into the pit at the very last, beyond the last second. Actually, he's gone past
beyond the last second. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they've caused that contact with each other. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for them.
Very, very unfortunate.
Advait's the guy with the big smile under his helmet right now.
Yeah, well, Advait Deoda now 17 seconds, unfortunately, off the lead. Mohammad Ibrahim being untouchable, but between Sai Sanjay and Sai Prithvi now. Sai Sanjay and Sohil Shah, sorry. There's a battle going on between these two at this point in time, but this is for 6th and 7th place, and all these guys now have pitted at this point in time. And as we come around over the last 5 minutes of racing that we have, about 5 more laps we go for the Tier 1 series. We have Mohammad Ibrahim now in first place, 17 seconds. Almost 18 seconds now ahead of Advait Deoda in second place, who's profited massively of that mega confusion that Amith Kuti and Tejasvi had in the pits, unfortunately, which has dropped Amith Kuti now back in the third place. Yashish Mano, and I'm pretty sure Amith Kuti is a little bit more trouble with the stewards, so sure we'll take a look at that. Yashish Manohar now in fourth place. ADP in 5th place. Sai Prithvi holding off Sai Sanjay for 6th place at the moment. Sohil Shah in 8th place. Ritesh in 9th. Ron Shankar, after making all those mistakes up in front, is about 8/10 now of Ritesh Rai. So a very, very close battle between Sohil Shah, Ritesh Rai and Ron Shankar that's brewing towards the last 5 minutes of this race. So let's see which one of these guys is going to get off on top. Varun Shah in 11th, Oshan Kotadia in 12th place, Vishwas in 13th, Ankit Roy in 14th, and Chetan korada in 15th place. But there we go. I think Ritesh Rai and Sohil Shah now locked in battle. Ron Shankar waiting in the wings to see if any one of these two guys make a little bit of a mistake so he can pounce on that opportunity out of there.
Yeah, Ron Shankar he's not going to do anything desperate. He's made too many mistakes already, so I'm sure he's got that in his mind, but he is running out of time. Sohil Shah is not an easy guy to pass, and he knows he can keep these two guys behind. But that being said, if you remember, Sohil and Sai Prithvi were running together. Sai Prithvi is now up in 6th place, so that early pit stop and then coming out in clear air has really, really helped him gain some time, especially after he started right at the back.
Absolutely, because like you said, he's got that clear air, but at that same time, he's now also got Sai Prithvi in front of him, who's not making it very easy for him to pass either. But these three guys, Ron Shankar, Ritesh Rai, and Sohil Shah, Sohil Shah now, these three guys locked in a little bit of a battle. Greatest watch, because 7th, 8th, and 9th, all these three guys, Ron Shankar trying to make amends for that little bit of mistake he made earlier. All these three guys, supremely talented racers. Brilliant talent on these esports, on this iRacing game. Ron Shankar now in the slipstream of Ritesh Rai. Is he going to make that move down the inside? Ritesh Rai just blocks him off as they come down. Ron Shankar does not think about it again and holds back in his slipstream once again. But that's given. Sohil Shah's been a little bit gone super deep into that corner. Ritesh Rai almost came back. Yeah, but Ritesh Rai almost came back and whacked him, but that's also given Ron Shankar now supremely close. So these three, there's a little trio, 3 peas in a porridge, we like to call them. But that's making for some really good racing right out there.
Absolutely, and don't forget, all 3 of them have real racing experience. You know, Ritesh is the most experienced of the lot. He's done a lot of racing in the past. Sohil, one of the younger drivers on the crowd. Ooh, did you watch that move?
Yeah, that was
just about managed to squeeze his car into that little cycle gap, as they call it. Put himself between. No, he's not yet made it stick, and now he finally has.
He has made that stick. There we go. He's got it. He's made it. Yeah.
He gives him an opportunity now to charge at Sohil, and he doesn't have much time left. They've got 3 minutes left on the clock, and
2 minutes once they come around this.
Yep, and that should put Mohammad on the last lap fairly soon.
Yeah, but Amith Kuti now looks like he's closed that gap on Advait Deoda massively. 8/10 now behind him. So the wildest battles brewing between Sai Prithvi, Sai Sanjay, who've also swapping places with each other. Amith Kuti now has made that time back up to Advait Deoda. So Advait Deoda had a massive lead, a 17-second lead almost, if I'm right, over Amith Kuti. Must have made a mistake somewhere. I don't think we caught it. A supreme comeback by Amith Kuti now to be on his tail with 2 minutes to go in this first race.
Yeah, Amith is absolutely flying. He's giving it everything. He knows he's made that mistake entering the pit. He knows he's in trouble. So he's got to give it everything to try and build that gap to the cars behind and try and get ahead of Advait, because I'm pretty sure he's in trouble.
You can see his last one. This is a lunge and a half, and he's touched him. He's got him. He's touched him. He's flipped. He's upside down in the race. Amith Kuti, is he going to lose more positions? I think he just might. I think Amith Kuti is lost. He's in the pit.
Everything.
Yep. He's lost it all. Amith Kuti, he could have just waited and held back a little bit more. Advait, the other smile is probably getting a lot bigger. And here we go, Amith Kuti now. That's a lunge and a half down the inside. Way too late, Amith Kuti. And then Rohit Shankar just on the comeback. Flips him around and that's done. Amith Kuti race is now over, yeah. Advait Deodar now, yeah. You can see Amith Kuti is back in the pits, so I think his race is done and over with. But Advait Deodar now supremely happy with the outcome of that move. It wasn't no fault of his, unfortunately, but had everything to gain from it in second place. And now that brings Yashish Manohar and KDB, the Tier 2 driver. Is he going to make a move around the inside? I wonder. He's got that. He's going to get into his slipstream now down the start of the straight. But I think Yashish Manohar has a little bit more traction, a little more drive, carrying a little bit more speed now as KDB is trying to make those positions back. But he's in his slipstream at this point in time, coming down to that first corner. He's just a little too far back now. He's got to hold back another one lap, because this is, if I'm right, the last lap of this race.
Yeah, this should be the last lap of the race. Depends on where Mohammed is on the track. But yeah, these two guys are fighting really hard. KDB is giving it everything to be on that overall podium position. But watching Rohan Shankar right now, trying to make a move around the outside.
Sohil Shah.
It's not going to be easy.
Sohil Shah just parking his car in the middle of that corner, absolutely shutting that door, saying, "No way, Jose, you're not getting past me today, son. You made those mistakes. You stay behind me. I'm going to benefit." And Sohil Shah now, he's got a lot of work to do, because Rohan looking really racy, really feisty around this track on this last lap at the moment.
What happened to Sanjay? I see he's out of the race. We seem to have missed what happened. I think he's had an incident with Prithvi, because he was fighting with Ooh, they're getting really
yeah, that's Rohan Shankar pushing him around this track. Because Sohil, you can see he's parking the car in the middle. But as we have it, Mohammad Ibrahim now crosses the line. 35 seconds ahead of Yashish Manohar to win the first race.
The other right now. I don't know what happened to Advait.
Advait's made a mistake. He's dropping down. He's dropping down the field as well, because Advait's and Krishnanu's up in third place. I wonder what's happening there. If our producers can take us up there, there we go. KDB now up in third place, and it looks like he's got enough of a gap to Advait Deodar, who's lost 2 places. I wonder if Advait has made a mistake, and we see Krishanu.
Slowing down. I wonder if he's not fueled enough.
He's lost fuel. I think he's not fueled. Yeah, he must have lost the fuel. He has. Yeah, and you can see right there.
Yeah, he's running out of fuel.
This is exactly what happened. Exactly what happened to the Ibrahim brothers. I remember a whole bunch of races ago, and he's going to lose a whole bunch of places now, because Sohil Shah and Rohan Shankar still not going to get. Other than he's crossed the line though. But Rohan Shankar now and Sohil Shah. Sohil Shah managed to keep Rohan Shankar behind him. That was a great battling between those two. But the biggest gain out of everything that we've seen, Krishanu Datta Buyan, ADB, our Tier 2 driver, is on the podium in a Tier 1 race. Althea, that's a whole lot of points for him, isn't it?
Absolutely. What a race. It's going to take me a while to catch my breath. There was so much action up and down the field. That move by Amith Kuti, the mistakes by Rohan Shankar, that fantastic drive by Krishanu, and of course, don't forget Mohammad Ibrahim, just running away in the front, watching these guys have some fun right now and not pay damage bills. But it's been some fantastic racing under.
Absolutely. I mean, 25 minutes of racing has gone by in an instant. From pit stops, people coming out in front, from Advait Deodar gaining an advantage, over Amith Kuti, to the little battle they had, the supreme battles between Sanjay, Tejasvi Shetty. Of course, superb battle between Rohan Shankar and Sohil Shah at the end. But Mohammad Ibrahim, our winner in Group A at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. 37 seconds, stamping his authority over Yashish Manohar in second place. Krishano Datubuyan in third place. Sai Prithvi in fourth. Advait in fifth. Sohil Shah in sixth place. Ron Shankar in seventh. Ritesh Shah in eighth. Oshan Kotadia in ninth. Varun Shah in 10th. Vishwas in 11th. Ankit Roy in 12th. Chetan korada in 13th. Amith in 14th place. Out of the race when we saw him flip on his roof. Sanjay and Tejasvi following similar suit. What an insane race, because that's now going to be followed by another race for Tier 2 very, very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an absolute cracker that we've got going on. And we've got another word from our sponsors. This is UltimateE's Battle of the Stars in association with Red Bull. #gives you wings.